Hello students, welcome to EDUP. I hope you guys are preparing SSCJ exam in a very well manner and I hope you guys have an amazing day. So before going to start today's lecture, I want to tell you something. Some students might be thinking, where do I start and what is the right time to prepare? So I have a simple answer to this question that you can prepare right now and from here, from our channel EDUP. Okay, our entire team will assure you that the entire SSCJ electrical syllabus will be completed before the exam, your SSCJ exam. So you are requested to practice lot of question and go through all the videos that we have uploaded and we are going to upload. And if you have any doubt, then post that photo on the Facebook. Link is given in the description below so that we can help you. This is my 4th lecture and I have already uploaded 3 lectures. And if you have missed that one, then please watch that first. The link is given in the description below. And in this lecture, we are going to cover the basic concept of Wheatstone bridge. In this concept, we are going to see what will be the equivalent resistance between the 2 points when the bridge is in balanced condition. Okay. Now, after that, we will see the concept of Kirchhoff's law, Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law and solve some MCQs regarding it. Then after that, we will see nodal analysis. What is node and what are the applications of nodal analysis, and we will solve some MCQs regarding it. Then finally we will see the concept of supernode. So what is a supernode and when this situation comes in your circuit, then how to handle it. So all things are going to cover in today's lecture. Now let's start today's lecture. This is first question of today's lecture, and in this question we have been given with a network and we need to find what will be the equivalent resistance between the point P and Q. Okay, so looking to the question, some of you might be thinking that this question belongs to your star delta conversion technique, but actually this is not your basic series and parallel concept. See how. If you take a close look, these two resistance 1 ohm and 1 ohm are connected in series. Why? Now because there is a common path and this path is not shared by any other element. So these two are connected in series. Now in my first lecture I told you that when two resistance are connected in series, their equivalent resistance will be simply they are just get added up. So R equivalent will be 1 plus 1 equal to 2 ohm. Now their equivalent resistance can be represented by this resistance equal to your 2 ohm. Now this 2 ohm resistance and here the equivalent resistance that we just found out are connected in parallel. Why? Now because they are connected across a same point, two same point. So their equivalent resistance is equal to, in parallel combination, the two resistance are equal. So the resistance, the equivalent resistance R equivalent equal to your R by N. Okay. So R is 2 by 2, that is equal to 1 ohm. So their equivalent resistance can be represented like this, that is your 1 ohm. Now this 1 ohm and this 1 ohm are connected in series. So their equivalent resistance is 2 ohm. Okay. So this 2 ohm can be connected like this, that is 2 ohm. Now this 2 ohm and this 2 ohm are connected in parallel. So their equivalent resistance is given as 2 by 2 equal to 1 ohm. Now their equivalent resistance, this equivalent resistance can be represented like this, that is your 1 ohm. The equivalent resistance between the 2 points P and Q is 1 ohm. So looking to the option, your option B is your right answer. Let's move on to the next question. This is our second question. In this question, there is a network is given and we need to find what is the equivalent resistance between the terminal X and Y. Okay. So the network which is given in the question is a very standard example of your Wheatstone bridge. So in Wheatstone bridge, the four arms are represented by the symbol P, let P, Q, and this one is R and this one is S. So when the ratio of their arms, that is P by Q equal to the R by S, when the ratio of their arms are equal, then the bridge is said to be in balanced condition. Okay, so bridge is in balanced condition. Now when this condition occur, then the potential difference between these 2 points, this one and this one, is 0. As the potential difference is 0, from Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. So the current will be 0. Okay, resistance is there, voltage is 0, so current is 0. So this R loses its significance. Means this path will be treated as open circuit. So the path is now treated like this, open circuit. Okay. Now we can calculate the equivalent resistance between the 2 points very easily. Why? Now because there is no R, so these 5 ohm and 15 ohm are connected in series, and 10 ohm and 30 ohm are connected in series, and their equivalent, both equivalent, are connected in parallel. So equivalent resistance between the point XY equal to 5 plus 15 ohm parallel with 10 plus 30 ohm. Okay, so this is how much? This is 20 parallel with 40. So in parallel we know that the equivalent resistance is given as 20 into 40 divided by 20 plus 40. So which is equal to 20 into 40 divided by 60. Now after calculation, this is 40 by 3 ohm. So your option C is your right answer. This is a very basic question and it was asked in your previous SSCJ exam electrical paper. So let's discuss this question. In this question, there are two voltage sources, V1 and V2, and three resistances, R1, R2 and R3. Okay, these are all are connected in series. Okay, now we need to find the net voltage applied to this network. So in order to answer this question, you should know the basic concept of Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law. Now let's discuss what is Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law. So what is Kirchhoff's voltage law? Kirchhoff's voltage law states that in any closed loop, the total voltage, the sum of total voltage is 0. That is the summation of all voltage over a closed loop equal to 0. Okay. Now this must be associated with a sign convention, with proper sign convention. Okay. So what is sign convention? In a loop, there is a loop direction. So if you are moving from higher potential to lower potential, like this, suppose this is, let's say this is higher potential and let's say this is lower potential, and you are moving from higher potential to lower potential, then the voltage sign will be your negative. Okay, so negative potential or simply negative sign. And when you are moving from negative to positive, that is lower potential to higher potential, your sign will be, voltage sign will be positive potential. That is your positive sign. So this is the sign convention. Okay. Now let me draw a circuit so that the total law will be very clear to you. Let there are three passive elements resistor, inductor and capacitor. Okay, this is R, L, C, and these are connected to a voltage source, let's say V. Okay, now let I amount of current is flowing through it. Okay, now the voltage across resistance is let VR. This is positive sign and this is negative sign, and it is very obvious. Why? Now because in any load by default it absorbs power, so when current enters the terminal then it's positive sign. Similarly for inductor this is positive negative, and similarly for capacitor this is positive negative, and this sign is by default, means we are assuming that there is no initial charge or initial voltage or initial current. Okay, so and the voltage across the inductor is VL, let's say, and the voltage across capacitor is VC. So let here apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now by Kirchhoff's voltage law, here the loop direction is just like that. Let. Okay. Now here we are moving from negative to positive. So here the potential is plus V. Okay. Now here we are moving from positive to negative. So this is negative. And the voltage drop across resistance is VR. VR. Similarly here negative. We are moving from higher to lower potential. So minus VL. And here is also we are moving from higher potential to lower potential. So minus VC equal to 0. And which is equal to V minus VR is, we know that from Ohm's law, I into R minus voltage across inductor is L di by dt. These things in my previous lecture I derived. Okay, and across capacitor the voltage is 1 by C integration I dt. So this is all about your Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now in SSC exam you may be asked on which principle the Kirchhoff's voltage law is based on. So remember one thing, Kirchhoff's voltage law is based on the conservation of energy or conservation of work. Okay, so let me write down conservation of energy. See why this is based on conservation of energy. We know that summation of V equal to 0 in a closed loop. So, and we know that V can be expressed in term of the work done per unit charge. Okay, this is work done per unit charge. So, this work equal to 0. So, it is based on the conservation of work. Okay, now let's discuss what is Kirchhoff's current law. Now let's discuss what is Kirchhoff's current law or KCL simply. So Kirchhoff's current law states that the current entering or leaving, that is the sum of current entering or leaving a node is equal to 0. Means the summation of current at a particular node, okay, at a node equal to 0. So let me give an example so that the total concept will be very clear to you. Let this is a node, okay, this is a node. We can call this point as node or junction. So let this is a resistance and the current flows through it. Let's say this is I1 and let's say this is I2 and let's say this is I3. Okay. So here the current I1 is entering this node, okay, and this current I2 is leaving this node, and this I3 current is also leaving this node. So Kirchhoff's current law states that the sum of all current entering and leaving is equal to 0 with proper sign convention. Means this equation must be associated with proper sign convention. Okay. So what is the sign convention? See, here the current I1 is entering towards the node. Okay, means for this branch, this node is your lower potential. Obvious, it is very obvious. So for I1, we take as negative sign. Okay, and for this branch, here current is leaving from that node. So this, for this branch, this node is act as a higher potential node. So for this current, we take the sign of current as positive. And similarly for I3, we also take positive sign. So from this can be written as minus I1 plus I3 plus I2 equal to 0. So this is all about your Kirchhoff's current law. And one more thing, Kirchhoff's current law is based on the conservation of charge or conservation of current. Okay, so how it is based on conservation of charge? Now see, the net current entering and the net current leaving must be equal. Here the statement says that, means there is no accumulation of charge at this node. Okay, so this is based on the conservation of charge. So write down, this is based on the conservation of charge. So you need to remember three things. First one is the what is Kirchhoff's current law? Means statement, that is summation of I at a particular node is 0. Okay, this is first point. And second point is the sign convention. Okay, and third thing, we need to remember the principle, on which principle it is based on. Okay, now let's solve the problem. Okay, now let's here apply same the KVL. Okay, Kirchhoff's voltage law by KVL. Here the loop direction is let like this. Okay, so here for this V1 voltage source, we are moving from lower potential to higher potential like this. This is the loop direction. Okay, so for this is plus V1. And here the current flows through it is I, here I, and the resistance is R1. So voltage across the resistance is I into R1. So, and the sign is minus. Why? Because we are moving from higher potential to lower potential, that is positive to negative. So minus I into R1. Similarly, here minus V2. Okay, higher potential to lower potential. Now for R2, it is minus I into R2. Okay, now for R3, this is similarly I into R3 equal to 0. Okay, so now V1 minus V2 equal to I whole into R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, now let common minus from this side, minus, this is V2 minus V1 equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now from this is the voltage and this is the total load. Okay, so this is basically Ohm's law. Okay, so the total voltage is this much is applied to this network. So the option B is your right answer. Next, now moving to the next question. In this question, we have been given with a network and we need to find what is the value of current flowing through this branch. Okay, so I told the concept of KCL. Now apply the same concept to this problem. Here there are three nodes basically. Here this one is one node and this one is another node and this one is also one node. Okay, now what KCL says? KCL states that the total incoming current equal to the total outgoing current. So consider this node. Here the total incoming current is how much? That is your current is coming 2 ampere from one branch and another 2 ampere from another branch. So the net outgoing current will be 2 plus 2 equal to 4 ampere. Now 4 ampere is current is flowing through this branch. Okay, now here 1 ampere current is divided from this 4 ampere current. Now the remaining is how much? 4 minus 1, that is your 3 ampere current. So 3 ampere current is flowing through this branch. Now from this 3 ampere current, 1.3 ampere current is divided to this branch. Now the remaining is from 3 ampere, that is 3 minus 1.3 ampere current is flowing through this branch, and after calculation we got 3 minus 1.3 equals to 1.7 ampere current. So in this branch there is a current flowing through this branch is 1.7 ampere current. So your option B is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. In this question there is a network given and we need to find what is the voltage VA at this node. So in order to answer this question, you need to understand what is nodal analysis and what is mesh analysis. Now let's discuss what is nodal analysis. So nodal analysis, as the name suggests, nodal analysis is based on the node, and this is basically used to find the node voltage. Okay, now these are the following steps you need to follow while dealing with the network for solving using nodal analysis. Okay, first step is identify all the nodes and assume one reference node. Means you have to identify all the nodes, means the what is the total number of nodes you need to identify first, and assume one node as a reference node. Okay, then after that assume node voltage at each and every node. Means you have to give the notation like V1, V2, V3 like that to each and every node, so that it will be very convenient to you while dealing with such type of analysis. Okay, now after that you use KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, at every node except the reference node to form the equation and calculate the node voltage. Means you have to use the KCL at each node to find the equation. Okay, and solving this system of equation, you get your desired node voltage value. Now let's switch to the question. So in this question there is a main node and there is another node which will be treated as a reference node. Okay, assume this node to be reference node. Now here for the time being, let's assume the current is flowing in this branch is like that, and in this branch is like that, and in this branch is flowing like this. Okay, let's assume. Why? Now because we don't know what is the direction of current, so let's assume this direction. Okay, now apply KCL to this node. So by KCL to this node, let form the KCL equation for this branch. For this branch, VA minus 12, that is minus 12. Why? Now because we are moving from higher potential to lower potential, minus divided by R1. So this is the current flowing through this branch, plus here the current is flowing VA by R2. Okay, plus here the current is VA minus 6 divided by R3 equal to 0. All are positive sign. Why? Now because the current are leaving. Implies that here R1, R2 and R3 all are known and equal to 1 ohm. So VA minus 12 by 1 plus VA by 1 plus VA minus 6 by 1 equal to 0. From that 3 VA equal to, and this is 18, and VA equal to 18 by 3 equal to 6 volt. So your option B is your right answer. Now let's move to the next question. In this question we have been given with a network and we need to find the value of V across this 1 ohm resistance. Okay, this network can be solved by using nodal analysis, and this network can also be solved by using superposition theorem. Why? Because the number of independent sources are more than one, so this theorem can be handled by using your superposition theorem. Now, as of now, let's solve this question by using nodal analysis, and the concept of superposition theorem I will tell in my subsequent video. Okay, so let assume this to be your reference node and this to be your main node. Let's say this one is V1. Okay, now here in this branch 3 ampere current is coming to this node, so this 3 ampere current will take negative sign, so this is -3. And let assume the current flows through 1 ohm resistance is like that. Okay, means leaving this node, and current flowing through this branch is let like this. Okay, so now let's apply KCL. Plus V1 by 1, that is the current equal to the net voltage divided by net resistance. So V1 by 1 plus, here for this branch, this is V1 plus 3 volt divided by your 1. This is equal to 0. Now this -3 and this +3 get cancelled out. Now this 2V1 equal to 0. So V1 equal to 0 volt. So voltage at this node will be equal to 0. Now the current flowing through this branch is equal to, let's say I assume, okay, I equal to V1 plus 3 divided by 1. Here V1 we got 0. 0 plus 3 equal to 3. Now, by using Ohm's law, we know that V equal to I into R. Here V is the voltage across this 1 ohm resistance, and the current flowing through 1 ohm resistance is 3 ampere. So 3 into 1 equal to 3 volt. So the voltage across this 1 ohm resistance is 3 volt. Okay, so your option C is your right answer. In this question, we have been given with a network, and we need to find what is the voltage across this 4R resistance, that is your V0. And in this question, V1 is given to 4 volt, so V1 equal to 4 volt, and V2 is your 6 volt, so V2 equal to 6 volt. Now let's apply nodal analysis here that we have studied. Here there are 3 nodes, so this is one node, and this is also a node, and this is also a node. Let consider this to be your reference node. Okay, now the voltage at this node equal to your V0. Why? Now because this one is reference node and the voltage across the 4R is V0, so the voltage at this node will be your V0, and the voltage at this node is equal to your 6 volt. Why? Because this 6 volt source directly connected to the node and the ground, so this voltage will be reflected into this node. Okay, it is very clear. Now let's assume that the voltage at this node is equal to Vx. Okay, now if you are trying to apply KCL to the node Vx and V0, then you can't apply. Why? Now because the current supplied by this V1 source will be not given, so we can't apply directly KCL equation. Means we can't write the KCL equation for these two nodes. So how to handle this question? So there is a concept called super node concept. So we are going to apply this node concept. So this is your super node. Okay, so when there is a voltage source connected between the two nodes, then we can't apply directly KCL. Rather, you are going for the super node concept. Okay, so this is your super node. Okay, super node. Now, in supernode concept, we write the KCL equation for both the node simultaneously. Now, apply KCL to the both node Vx and V0 simultaneously. We get Vx by 4R, that is the current flowing through this branch, plus Vx minus 6 divided by R, the current flowing through this R resistance, plus V0 minus 6 divided by 2R, that is the current flowing through this 2R, plus V0 by 4R equal to 0. This is the KCL equation. Now, taking the LCM is your 4R. So, this is Vx plus 4Vx minus 24 plus this is 2V0 minus 12 plus V0 equal to 0. Implies that this is 5Vx plus this is 3V0 equal to this is 36. Okay, let's make this as equation 1. Now let's apply KVL to this loop, this closed path. Okay, starting from Vx to V0, we will get Vx minus V1, that is your 4 volt, minus V0 equal to 0. Why this is minus? Because we are going from higher potential to lower potential. That's why this is minus 4. So this is Vx equal to 4 plus V0. Now use this Vx in this equation 1. We get this is 5 into 4 plus V0 plus 3V0 equal to 36. Implies that this is 20 plus 5V0 plus 3V0 equal to 36. Okay, so simplifying, this is 8V0 equal to this is 16. Implies that V0 equal to 16 by 8, that is your 2 volt. So option A is your right answer. So always remember one thing, when there is a voltage source between the two nodes, then we can't apply the KCL equation. Why? Because the current supplied by the source is not given. So in that case, there is a concept arise which is called supernode. And in supernode concept, we apply the KCL to both the node simultaneously to calculate the node voltage. So this is all about today's lecture. By this, let's wind up today's lecture. Thanks for watching everybody. See you in my next video. Till then, keep watching and keep learning. And one more thing, please subscribe to our channel and like the video. And if you have any doubt, then put your doubt in the comment section. Thank you.